Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, The Progressive Millennial, where I cover all topics from mostly politics, but anything to do with current times or any kind of nostalgia. And I wanted to do a quick video on actually it might not be that quick. I actually have a list here that I wrote down. Most of my videos aren't that planned, um, but a real big topic that a lot of people are saying are getting out of hand is streaming services, because they're basically turning into what cable was. And people were so upset with cable because there was nothing on. And honestly, in my opinion, I think we all have subscriptions to all of these now, which pretty much all come out to the same price. And there's nothing really good anymore as far as content. Like to me, I can write down here. So to me, like 2015 to 2020 was like the peak time for most streaming services. It was still relatively new. That was when Netflix was like really getting into like making their original programs. I mean, you had like Stranger Things. That was like the first, to me, that was like the first huge, really big TV show that got people really captivated. I mean, they were just pumping out show after show. I mean, Narcos, that was one I remember getting really obsessed with in the beginning on Netflix. And I feel, and then like 2020 was the peak. Like, I think that was the time around like Tiger King and all that. And to me, like I said, that 5 years of Netflix was really peak Netflix. I mean, they really tapped in, especially with like Stranger Things, they really tapped into like the whole like 80s nostalgia, and they did it really, really well. And I feel like a lot of their programs after that have tried to recreate that too, and just haven't quite done it yet. And so yeah, I feel like they're already starting to get stale. And so another thing, so I had, like I said, I just canceled all of them. I recently had Netflix, Disney, Hulu, and HBO Max, and I would go like days without watching any of them. I mean, I wouldn't turn on any of them. And then and what I did was, and when I found myself watching them, especially like Hulu, I would basically just be rewatching like old shows that I had grown up with. Like when Disney, I've never really been big into Disney, even though I'm like, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I just never was quite, even when I was a kid, I felt like Disney was just too kiddish for me, because I was into like MTV and Nickelodeon, and like TGI, like that was my stuff, like a lot of live action stuff. I was into cartoons in the 80s, like Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters and stuff like that, but I've never really been a real Disney fan. But, they have the package, and then they recently had it with HBO Max, and same thing, man. I mean, HBO it was the shit back in the day. Like, if you had HBO with your cable, it was like just nonstop blockbuster after blockbuster, and like if you had HBO, like you were like the cool family on the block. And like I said, I recently signed up for HBO Max and didn't really find anything on there. And um, you know, and they were with Hulu for a very brief time, and it was only 9.99, so it was $29 for Hulu, Disney, and HBO. And I was like, that's a pretty good deal. But then they backed out of it, and then now they want like $15 just for HBO Max, and I'm just not gonna pay that. And let's see, so yeah, so watching the same old programs. And then another thing, I mean, and then when it comes to TV, the only time I really watch TV is for football. I watch football games because I pretty much just have an antenna. And to be honest with you, I find myself on like Instagram and YouTube a majority of the time. Um, I don't have the patience to even sit on my phone and watch like a Netflix movie or a Netflix show. And like I said, I don't think the content. is that good anymore. Um, so, and another thing is like, I just so recently, like, the thing about Netflix is they try to do sitcoms and they just don't quite work because they only do like 8, 10 episodes, and they don't let a show develop. They usually cancel a show after like 2 seasons. I know like Jamie Foxx did a brief sitcom on there, and like it only lasted a season. I know that '90s show, it had a lot of potential, but it was just, in my opinion, that '90s show, it was basically just written by what Gen Z thought of the '90s. A lot of it was just did not have an authentic feel to it. It was like a lot of people said it was a Disney version um, of the '90s. Just didn't have that raw, real feel of it. And as someone who grew up, because I was a teenager towards the late '90s, it just didn't have that at all. Let's see. Oh, and a lot of people that complain about long time in between seasons. Um, like honestly, like I said, I currently don't have Netflix. I probably will redo it for when season 5 of Stranger Things comes out. But same thing, it's like years in between seasons, and it's like I lose interest, or I forget what the show's about. Like I know recently, what was it, Wednesday? Um, Loved it. I loved one of the recent shows that I actually really liked. I loved the first season. It was awesome. But once again, it was like 2 years or so before the next season came out, which, like I said, I'd canceled my Netflix like 2 months ago. I haven't even seen the second season. Um, a lot of people aren't really talking about it. So, I mean, I'm sure it did good, but, you know, if a Netflix show does really well, trust me, like you'll hear about it. But I haven't heard anything. So, and yeah, like I said, getting too expensive. I mean, like, Netflix did that whole changing the, where if you want to have more people on a household, you can't share your password. And it's just like, I think it's near like $25 or something like that to have no ads. I mean, $30 for the Netflix Hulu package. I mean, you're talking $60. And forget about it if you want live TV. I mean, that's what, $100 a year, or $100 a month, I should say. I mean, like I said, that's basically cable. And honestly, if I do go to any apps, I find myself watching Tubi a lot. Honestly, I think the movie selection on Tubi is way better than Netflix or Hulu. Like I said, because they've got so many restrictions or whatever. But Tubi just don't give a damn. They put anything on there, and especially if you're like me, this time of the year around October, they've got a great horror selection, which none of the other apps ever do. But currently, as of right now, I don't have any subscriptions to um, any of the platforms. And like I said, I just find myself searching for like really old TV shows from like the '90s, or really old movies on there, because I think most new content is crap. I mean, they, as much as they want to save money on it or whatever, they do need to go back to Los Angeles, go back to Hollywood, pay some writers, do more real effects. And because there's a lot of stories out there to tell, and take risks, take chances, stop making such bland TV. Um, but yeah, I think they're riding right now on people just being stagnant and just letting it reoccur. But I think it's starting to crack, especially with the whole Disney thing. Of that was one of the main reasons why I canceled it, was them like trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel, like, the government influencing content. Like, nah, like that didn't sit well with me. But yeah, who knows? Like I said, I mean, let me know if you canceled anything yet. Uh, so yeah, I just want to make a quick video on why I've canceled all my subscriptions. And honestly, I thought I would miss it, but I haven't. Like I said, I've searched a lot of the free apps like Tubi, and there's a couple more out there, and they got great content. And like I said, I'm pretty much just on YouTube or Instagram, which are free for content. So I enjoy that more than any of them. But let me know if you've canceled anything and why you don't like them down in the comments. And thank you.